Hi, I'm Mark from the Gently Grown Homestead, and today we're going to talk about the berry patch. What it is, what it looks like here, the organization that is behind it, and some yearly or bi-yearly maintenance that we do. That is all coming right up. Check out all these grapes. Anything can happen. It's a little while till they actually become grapes, but wow, look at all these bunches. This is from the, they're just all over. The second year vines is when the grapes grow. This is the only plant that really has second year vines on it. But wow, this is gonna be quite a harvest. All right, if you can see it, we are adding compost and more wood chips mulch to our fruit patch, just around the main plants, the apple tree, the mulberry tree. I decided to do the strawberry plants, although originally they were just for ground cover. I decided to keep the patches a little more high priority, I guess. Some bushes over there, elderberry, gooseberry. The compost just adds natural nutrients to the soil, slowly feeds it. The mulch just helps with everything. You want to help conserve water, then mulch. You want to help feed the soil biology, then mulch. You want to help protect it from high suns, mulch. All these things, just it's so good for the soil in such a natural way. Here's the patch after the compost. There are a bunch of weeds and dead weeds from last year. But with the fruit guild, the idea is to be very passive and to let nature do as best it can. Adding the compost and mulch is on the more minimal side. You can see the patch. This is from last year's spread. This is the second patch. Spread really well, and they are starting to fruit on the strawberries. So I'm a little late with the compost and mulch, but I'd rather do this now than all these dead weeds are gonna come back into live weeds. And the compost, the mulch will help suppress them. I'm not looking for a totally clean, sterile bed over here. Just something to work with. So this is the strawberry, one of the strawberry patches. After compost and mulch, again, I'm not looking for perfect coverage or to cover every single weed there is, but maybe you can tell just from when I had compost on before, it is a lot more, or there are a lot more strawberries popping through, a lot less weeds, and all I did was add natural organic amendments. So I'm out here with my helper. We just transplanted 3 new blueberry bushes. We lost a couple last year through the drought, shallow roots, you know. So this big one in front of us is actually, that was the potted one. A little late transplanting, but I just want to get it in the ground. It's outgrown the pot. And then in back of me, this here is new, just came in the mail, ordered it online. Organic, actually Walden Orchards, I've mentioned before. Fantastic company, fantastic guy. All organic, permaculture, great stuff. If you need any fruit plants or anything. This one is the lone survivor from last year. I don't know how it survived with the drought without me watering it, but it did. And the one in back of it was transplanted too. So I'm gonna more uniformly mulch this area so it looks a little better for us and the neighbors than it did last year. What we did, maybe you can still see some, I should have showed you before. Same thing, I dug a hole and added some organic amendments. Yep, we dug a hole, organic amendments. We added some bokashi, which is organic, natural microbiology, soil biology. It also helps the acidity of the soil. Blueberries and blackberries love more acidic soil, and just regular, our dirt and compost, even compost and wood chips won't do it, but added peat moss for the acidity, the bokashi, and then I ran out of pine bark nuggets, which are more acidic, so I'm gonna have to use regular wood chips, but I'm hoping the bokashi, peat moss, and compost together are gonna be enough acidity level. Ready for ready? And here's our final product. That was the big container blueberry that's graduated. You have the transplant, the survivor, the other transplant, and my helper. All a nice row mulched with extra peat moss and organic bokashi grains to help the acidity. This is in its own spot, separate from the fruit plants, because it needs those more acidic amendments. So 2 out of 3 blackberry bushes survived from last year. Trying to make sure they stay alive. Doing the same thing I did with them that I did with the blueberry bushes down there. They also like acidic soil. Also planted and replaced the grape plant that we lost from last year. 2 out of 3 grape plants made it. This is the same variety, King of the North. I didn't add peat moss or bokashi here because it doesn't like acidic soil like they do. Just compost, some organic natural amendments, and wood chips on top. I have to keep an eye on this grape plant. It looks like it was drying out. I have not watered this. We've had a dry spell here and some hotter days too. But I also, more importantly, if I'm not watering, I need to mulch and make sure the ground stays covered, the roots stay covered. It keeps them cooler, it keeps moisture in. I'm gonna keep an eye on this and see how well it recovers now that I mulched and watered. And this is the prize beauty grape plant right now. Grapes coming out everywhere. And it is really coming in. Just mulched again. It was doing fine, but I still mulched and I gave it some water because we've had some dry spells, or a dry spell here, and warmer weather, especially for April and May. Keeping this one as healthy as I can. And let me get a shot. This is all raspberry. This is a plant I thought that died last year. It did not. Raspberry is incredibly resilient and prolific. If you look at how big this plant got, this is all raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. This started with just a stick in the ground, or 10 sticks in the ground last year, just last year. Raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. All the way down the line. I just spot watered this strawberry patch. You can see again, the strawberry, you can really see the strawberries coming out now. And just sprinkle some compost, some wood chips around, and then not watering like the whole yard here, but just where the strawberries are will help them grow, spread out. They send out runners. They keep more of the ground covered, and you get less weeds that you don't want. And if you can see it okay, here is the mulberry tree right there. And this is all Jerusalem artichoke that I thought I pulled up last year, but what they say is true. You can never get all of it, and it grows like a weed. So all of these plants will give more Jerusalem artichokes. They're kind of like potatoes, but they grow vigorously like a weed. They are also meant to cover the ground and have less weeds and undesirables pop up. And here's a couple gooseberry and currant plants that did well. I just made sure I, again, mulched, and I ended up watering just as a precaution because it wasn't mulched and we've had warmer, drier weather once again. And that's it for now. Make sure you click like and subscribe to catch all new updates and info from the Gently Grown Homestead. Thanks again. Be well and grow.